Manga spoilers, by the way. After making it through the second selection, Jinpachi Ego explains to the 7 teams that have qualified that in 3 weeks, 11 of them are going to be going up against the Japan U20 team, led by one of the members of the New Gen World 11, Itoshi Sai, the genius midfielder and Itoshi Rin's older brother. Of course, with Blue Lock just being a facility full of strikers, with their team, some of them are going to have to play other positions such as midfielders, defenders, and even goalkeepers. But to decipher the main 11 players that are going to be starting in that match, he is going to have the team centered around the 6 players whose names he calls out, aka the top 6, with those players being, in order, Itoshi Rin, Shiro Ryusei, Karasu Tobito, Otoya Eta, Kenyu Yukimiya, and lastly, the lazy prodigy Nagi Seishiro. Now, this top 3 will split into 3 teams of 2s in their rank order, and remaining players will have to choose what team they'll want to join. And after that, to make a complete team of 5, they will be added to their chosen team in their randomized groups of 3s. So in short, the third selection is a tryout with the positions as regulars on the Japan U20 team on the line. After the 24-hour deadline for the rest of the players to choose which out of the 3 teams they want to be on, we see Isagi choose to be a part of Team A, consisting of Rin and Shido. As the first match is about to begin with Team A and Team B about to go, we see Ego pick 3 players of each team, with Team A consisting of Nanase, Hiyori, and Isagi, and Team B with Shiguma, Saramadara, and Chigiri. As both parties meet up on the field with their respective captains, the match between Team A and Team B officially kicks off as Team A gets the first ball, with Rin passing it to Shido. As Shido has the ball, we see him dashing towards the net, but we see Otoya quick to follow with Shido's play as he tells him he won't let him pass. As Isagi comments on Otoya's speed and how he's able to keep up with Shido's aggressive dribbling, we see Saramadara on Shido as well. But that's when Isagi decides to insert himself into the play as he asks Shido to pass the ball. As Shido passes the ball, Isagi tries to make the most of this moment, deciding what's the most logical play he can think of next. And with that, he decides to pass the ball to Rin, with Isagi's plan being to draw out Rin's abilities and insert himself in his play. As they both are able to create an amazing link-up play, the two get past Shiguma with ease. With Isagi thinking that the next pass to Rin will surely get them the goal, we see Chigiri saying to Isagi that he's pretty easy to read as he cuts off his pass. Chigiri then yells at to clear the ball, but that's when Shido charges straight for the ball as he calls for it. Isagi's surprised at Shido's reflexes to react to a second ball, saying how it's not normal. But considering Shido is still surrounded by opponents, Isagi tries to read the situation and work with Shido's movements. And as he tries to get the ball in an attempt to restart their attack again and connect it with Rin, that's when Shido shoots the ball from behind without even taking a second to look at the goal, scoring the first goal for Team A. As Isagi is in complete shock from that goal just now, questioning pretty much everything about it, we see Karasu install this info into his brain as he says that he now understands Shido and how he works, more or less. As we restart the match, with Otoya passing the ball to Karasu, Isagi tries to steal the ball back in order to show off his appeal. And as he catches Karasu looking away with the ball, he decides to try and take it from him. But that was all a part of Karasu's plan as he catches Isagi, keeping him away from the ball. As Isagi tries to get the ball from Karasu, Karasu says that it's too bad that Isagi's fighting his opponent's strong points, telling him that if he were to aim for his opponent's weak points, his chances of winning will greatly increase, saying how it isn't playing dirty per se, but it's more of an absolute rule in the world of winners, calling Isagi out, saying that he's the weak point of Team A. Karasu goes on saying how if Isagi is surrounded by good players, he could be able to synergize, but by himself, his coordination is mediocre. As Karasu gets closer to the net, we see Shido try to approach him, but sadly this doesn't work in Team A's favor as Karasu was able to hit a crazy feint on the both of them. As Shido is impressed, Isagi comments on Karasu's overwhelming feints as he shifts his center of gravity to do so, finally understanding Blue Lock's number 3 Tabito Karasu's type of football, as Karasu goes on to score the equalizing goal for Team B as he says that he'll beat the team down till they overdose. As we restart the match with Rin passing the ball to Shido, Shido passes the ball to Isagi, telling him that they should run the same play as before, But as Isagi is in possession of the ball, we see Karasu quick to charge at him, blocking his pass course to Rin. Isagi tries to force a pass to Rin, but that's when Karasu uses his hand and the rest of his body to block his pass. And with that, by using his hand to keep Isagi away from the ball while turning, Karasu gets the ball from him. As Karasu and Isagi are approaching Shido and Nanase as they try to carry out Crow extermination, we see Karasu still able to keep the ball from them with the excellent use of his hands. But in that moment, we see Otoya easily slip past Hiyori like a ninja. And as Karasu passes the ball to him, we see Otoya quickly slip past the likes of Rin as well. Hiyori reveals that while Karasu distracts the opponents, he still gets the goals from the shadows, he who holds the alias of Ninja, revealing Otoya's kind of football as he scores the second goal for Team B. Isagi says that even if they stop Karasu, Otoya will be there, commenting on how insane this dynamic duo's destructive power is. As we restart the match with Rin in possession of the ball, we see Isagi tell Rin to use him again. But Karasu is quick to cut off the pass course, so Rin just ignores him, choosing to pass the ball to Hiyori. As he tells Hiyori to match up with him, Hiyori just tells him to move around. And with that, Hiyori copied Isagi's 1-2 pass play with Rin with ease, coming to the conclusion that Hiyori is really good at passing as they get through Shiguma and Saramadara. As Otoya tells Rin to try and get past him, we see Shido run past them, telling Rin to give him the ball. But Shigiri is quick to notice this and tries to cover Shido. But right at that moment, Rin gets this sensation as he sees a thread connecting from the ball to the goal. So he shoots the ball, using Shido's movements as a cover. Rin took advantage, knowing that his movements would be hidden from the goalkeeper. And with that, Rin gets the second goal for Team A with a blind shot. As both Karasu and Otoya are impressed by what Rin just did, Isagi is frustrated knowing that he still hasn't done anything in this match yet. As we restart the match, we see Karasu with the ball telling Shido to get out of his way. Shigiri notices that Otoya will stick to wherever Karasu is, and even if he tries to get between those two, if he doesn't move with more agility than Otoya, then he won't get a pass, coming to the conclusion that the place on the field where he can be of use is the right side as he charges towards Isagi. As Shigiri says that he's going to get through the field with his own weapon, we see him start to accelerate his speed even more. Isagi decides to try and stop Shigiri even if he has to push him down, but it's already too late as Shigiri manages to accelerate even more beyond that, breaking through Isagi's grasp. As Shigiri finally gets Karasu to look at him, we see Karasu decide to give our Red Panther a chance as he sends him a pass. As Shigiri gets the ball, Rin is right on him, telling him that he won't be able to escape. But Shigiri notices Otoya charging straight for the net, so he sends him across as Otoya gets the third goal, saying that Shigiri's speed hypes him up. As we restart the match with Shido passing the ball to Rin, we see Rin and Hiyori continue to trade passes with each other. Isagi is still frustrated as he knows that Rin isn't even thinking of using him in this match, but he also notices Hiyori's playing style as he frequently turns his head everywhere to assert the situation of the whole field and calmly forming passes with Rin, doing whatever he can, desperately trying to be a part of this match. So Isagi says that what he can do right now is wait for a chance in front of the goal in a point where he can use his direct shot. But no matter how hard he tries to shake him off, Karasu is still on him. As Isagi tries to get out of Karasu's field of vision with off the ball movements, Karasu still lets him know that he can still see him. But that's when Hiyori sends the ball in front of the net. And as Rin gets to it, we see Shido appear out of nowhere saying that the ball is his as he crashes right into Rin. As Nanase calls them out, we see Shigiri manage to get the ball and pass it to Otoya, where from there he quickly passes it to Karasu as he gets the fourth goal for Team B. As Isagi points out that Rin can reach an optimal play by observing the whole field, while Shido finds the strongest play by instinct, they can't link together, being that their goal is the same, but the process to which they get that goal is completely different. And as we see a puzzle piece crack, we see Isagi find a new piece as he says that this is a piece he can use. As we restart the match with Rin still trading passes with Hiyori, we see Otoya in Rin's way, but that's when Isagi runs past them, telling Hiyori to give him the ball. But Karasu is still on Isagi. But that's when Nanase comes through, as he tells Isagi that Rin and Shido's movements are too genius for him. But with Isagi's, he's able to catch up with his movements. Hiyori passes the ball to Nanase, but Isagi notices that Karasu's attention moved from him for a second, so he decides to take this opportunity and fall back diagonally to Karasu's blind spot. Nanase warns Isagi that Karasu will use his hands, telling him to dodge it, and with that, Isagi was able to break through Karasu and get the ball. As Isagi starts to see a vision of the goal, but he knows that for him it's too far to shoot from where he is and Chigiri is in the way, he sees Rin trying to get to the goal, but Otoya's still on him, and that he has to be very precise. As Isagi tries to decide what to do, we see Shido call out his name as he's in the box running towards him. But Isagi is a bit lost, being that Shido's back is to the net, thinking that what Shido wants is to shake off Chigiri with a 1-2 to get the next goal. And as Isagi decides to pass the ball, willing to try this idea, that's when Shido grabs Shiguma's shoulder as he rotates in place and hits a high spin drive shot right into the net, getting the third goal for Team A. Isagi realizes how naive he was, thinking that someone of Shido's caliber would be able to pass to him. As Isagi and Nanase catch their breath, Nanase tells Isagi that he's the only one he can follow on the field, so he asks him to put him to more use. And with that, we restart the match. As Karasu is in possession of the ball, he says that he'll go right past Isagi to put an end to him. Isagi decides to try and steal the ball, being that if Team B scores one more, they'll lose. But that's when Rin gets in front of Isagi, telling him that he can't take Karasu on his own, as he tells Karasu to square up. As they both get into this little matchup, it seems Karasu is managing to keep the ball away from Rin, but as he tries to use his hands, Rin raises his elbow in time to ward it off. Karasu decides to give up on trying to get past Rin and just pass the ball, but that's when Isagi swoops in to steal the ball from both of their blind spots. As Isagi, Nanase, and Hiyori's link-up play is working, as they are making their way through the field, we see Otoya close in on Isagi, but Nanase is moving closely to provide support for Isagi, and with Hiyori's amazing passing ability, they manage to get through the midfield as well, with ease. As Hiyori has the ball, we see Chigiri charge right at him. As Shido is already there, he asks for the pass. Isagi decides to go to the spot where he can surpass Shido with a shooting point only he can use. As Hiyori sees this, he sends a crazy cross over Shido right to Isagi. As Isagi envisioned this exact outcome, all he has to do now is to get the goal. But sadly, Isagi was one step behind. Isagi questions whether or not his physical ability can measure up to his visionary plays. Otoya clears the ball, and as the ball lands in front of both Rin and Karasu, as they both are in pursuit of the ball, but luckily for Team A, that final step that Isagi couldn't have reached on his own could be reached by the likes of Rin, as he shoots the ball as it goes for top bins, getting the equalizing goal for Team A. As Isagi and them are able to be useful to both Rin and Shido, asserting themselves while coexisting with their team, Isagi is still frustrated, being that this isn't the kind of football he wants to play. As Hiyori and Isagi talk about how Isagi was one step short in that last play of theirs, Hiyori gives Isagi some great advice, saying how if he only moves after he thinks, it'll be too late. Seeing, thinking, and moving. Doing things in that order may have been fast enough for Isagi so far up until this point. It won't work if he wants to play on the same field as Rin and Shido, suggesting that Isagi should try and do it in reverse, saying it would change the world he perceives currently. And with that, we restart the match. As Karasu has the ball, we see Rin approach him, but after what happened last time, Karasu decides not to take his chances with Rin and just passes the ball straight to Otoya as he tries to get through with a 1-2. As Isagi tries to close in on Karasu, that is when Karasu decides to send the ball to Chigiri, as the left side is completely free. Or so we thought, as Shido intercepts the pass as he yells out, "The star enters the stage." As Nanase gets the loose ball, we see him send the ball to Isagi. Isagi starts to trade passes with Hiyori, questioning whether or not doing things in reverse is something humanly possible. But he then gets approached by Karasu once again. But that's when Rin calls out Isagi's name, telling him to give him the ball. And as Nanase is also catching up, they manage to trade passes with each other, able to trap and break through Karasu and Otoya. As Isagi sends the ball all the way to Hiyori, we see everyone running towards the goal. Isagi tries to figure out where he should be going, being that if he were to go to a space where Rin and Shido wouldn't be, his body still wouldn't be able to keep up with it. But that's when he stops himself from thinking that way, as he says that this thought process isn't gonna cut it anymore, as he tells himself not to think and to move by feeling, believing in his capability and every nerve and every sensation. And reverse in this moment, as he starts perceiving the field completely different from what he did so far. Yuri sends across to the goal, and as we see both Shido and Rin get away from their mans to go for the ball, and as they both have this insane hunger for the goal in their eyes, that's when we see the GOAT Isagi dash between them as he hits an insane direct shot straight for top bin, scoring the 5th and final game-winning goal for Team A. As everyone is shocked and exhausted, and Isagi tumbling on the field, we see the announcer call the match and how it's Team A's win. Isagi is puzzled how he was able to do that just now, but he knows one thing for sure, and that in that moment he definitely, without a doubt, surpassed both Rin and Shido. We then see Ego watching the match, saying the immersive state of a total aggression focus. The flow, as he says that Isagi has set foot on the path to the equation to create miracles, ending off the chapter as well as this match. Hey guys, DarkheroJosh here, and this was the match between Team A and Team B of the 3rd selection. If you enjoyed this video, then please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and comment down below what other matches or moments do you guys want to see me talk about next on this channel. And without further ado, I hope you guys have a great day, and see ya.